Hi, I'm Stuart Hameroff, an anesthesiologist at the University of Arizona in Tucson. Every day, patients come to me for anesthesia for surgery in an operating room, much like this one. I put them off to sleep, I take away their consciousness, I anesthetize them so they can have surgery without feeling or memory. And every day I ask myself, where do they go? But the real question is, why are they here in the first place? What is consciousness? By consciousness, I mean any awareness or experience of my body and the world around me, my perception of reality. But consciousness also includes mental states generated internally, thoughts, memories, or daydreams. It may also include feelings of joy or pain, or of a universal consciousness, a deeper spiritual reality. Consciousness seems also able to exert causal actions in the world, to interact with reality, what we call free will. And consciousness shapes our identity, the self, who and what we are. Artists and media technologies strive to most closely simulate and best engage conscious experience. But consciousness is a small part of what our brains actually do. We continuously process information and interact with the world non-consciously on autopilot. Neural systems in our brains monitor sensory information and control complex habitual behaviors like driving or walking, often while our conscious mind is somewhere else. When we take quick action, consciousness appears to lag behind. Free will apparently an illusion. Indeed, consciousness may be unnecessary for survival, and we could have evolved without it, a species of zombies, of non-conscious biological autopilot machines. Why is there consciousness? Scientific understanding is that firings and synaptic transmissions between axons and dendrites of billions of brain neurons interact like bits and switches in computers to process information. The brain is indeed a magnificent computer. With recurrent feedback, highly parallel neuronal computation, it accounts for complex functions and autopilot behaviors. But consciousness doesn't naturally ensue from computation and is generally viewed by neuroscientists and philosophers as an epiphenomenon, an illusion or artifact, a byproduct of computational complexity. Generally speaking, mainstream science and philosophy portray consciousness as trivial and unnecessary. In Eastern philosophies following Buddhist, Taoist, and Hindu spiritual traditions, the view is completely the opposite. Consciousness is an intrinsic feature of the universe, an intelligent, all-pervading entity imbued with feelings, ethical, and aesthetic values. Meditation and altered states may allow one to reach this deeper reality, to dissolve the self and exist in a universal conscious medium. In this view, consciousness did not evolve as a biological adaptation, nor is it epiphenomenal. Consciousness has been here all along. These two views, Western science and Eastern spiritual philosophy, have seemed irreconcilable, but a proposed bridge between the two is offered by quantum physics, which describes reality at small scales and emanates from the most basic level of the universe. Some suggest this basic level, space-time geometry, embeds information, perhaps intelligent, all-pervading information imbued with feelings, ethical and aesthetic values as suggested in Eastern spiritual traditions. Samadhi, the way of the Tao, and enlightenment could actually be contained in the most basic level of reality, accessible to the brain via quantum processes. Indeed, the brain's ability to convey consciousness seems dependent on neuronal protein dances, which depend on subtle quantum forces. Patients coming to surgery breathe anesthetic gas molecules from a vaporizer like this into their lungs and then into the brain, gently sucked into quantum pockets in critical brain proteins. This prevents normally occurring quantum processes necessary for consciousness, while non-conscious autopilot functions continue. At the end of the anesthetic, the gas is turned off, the molecules float out of the brain, proteins do their quantum dance again, and the patient wakes up. Consciousness resumes. The quantum view connects brain functions to a mysterious, deeper level rooted in physics, but consistent with Eastern philosophy and spiritual traditions. Whether consciousness is epiphenomenal or a fundamental process in the makeup of the universe, it does define our existence. Scientists, philosophers, artists, spiritualists, media, and computer experts will gather in Hong Kong for the first ever Asia Consciousness Festival, a series of events devoted to the investigation and celebration of consciousness. I hope to see you there.